Have you ever seen tennis legends, young superstars, and seasoned champions all agree on one thing? That the ADP calendar is slowly destroying players. Because that is exactly what's happening right now. And Andy Murray has stepped into the conversation with a truth bomb that is shaking the tennis world. Welcome back to Net Rush Report, the home of tennis drama, breaking updates, and the real stories behind the headlines. Let's get straight into it. Andy Murray believes Carlos Alcaraz, Fritz, and several top players are absolutely right to complain about the brutal tennis calendar. And he's not holding anything back. For the last 2 seasons, the biggest tension between players and the ADP Tour has been the expansion of Masters 1000 tournaments into 2-week events. On paper, it sounds great. More matches, more rest days, fewer back-to-back marathons. But according to the players who actually live this schedule, the reality feels very different. And Murray has made it crystal clear. The calendar is pushing players to a breaking point. During his appearance on the tennis podcast, Murray said what many have been whispering privately. The ADP's explanation makes no sense. The ADP claims that longer tournaments help prevent injuries. But Murray, someone who has fought through more surgeries, rehabs, and comebacks than almost anyone in the modern era, flat out disagrees. He says that stretching tournaments into 2 long weeks doesn't reduce pressure. It creates a new kind of fatigue that he explained that instead of players finishing a tournament, recovering, and moving on, they're trapped in a never-ending cycle of travel, practice, obligations, and mental strain. Murray argued that this slow, constant exhaustion is exactly what causes players to burn out, not just on the court, but emotionally as well. And here's the thing. When Andy Murray talks, people listen. He's not just a former world number 1. He's a 3-time Grand Slam champion. He's a fighter. He's someone who's lived through the extreme demands of the calendar, pushed his body until it broke, and still came back swinging. His voice carries weight, especially for younger players like Alcaraz and Fritz who feel unheard by the system. Carlos Alcaraz, for example, has been vocal about the issue. During his press conference at the Paris Masters 2025, he looked into the cameras and told the ADP to take action. He said the season is too long, the breaks are too short, and players end up grinding without time to recover physically or mentally. Fritz has echoed those same concerns repeatedly. He said that the calendar doesn't just wear players down. It forces them to choose between their careers and their health. And now, with Murray joining the conversation, the pressure on ADP leadership is only getting louder. But even in the middle of the debate, Alcaraz has found himself facing criticism. And this time, it's not coming from the ADP. Some fans and analysts have called him hypocritical for complaining about the long season while also signing up for 3 exhibition events during his so-called off-season. But Alcaraz didn't shy away from responding. He explained that exhibitions are totally different from ADP tournaments. There's no pressure, no ranking points, no mental strain. They're one-off events where he can enjoy the sport, connect with fans, and stay sharp without the stress of the tour. And the schedule he's chosen proves that. On December 7, he'll play in New Jersey. On December 8, he heads straight to Miami for another exhibition. Then, after a short break, he'll appear in South Korea on January 10, just before gearing up for the Australian Open. For Alcaraz, exhibitions are not the problem. The issue is a 10-month ADP season packed with mandatory events, massive travel demands, and tournaments that keep expanding while breaks get smaller. And honestly, when you hear Murray explain it, the argument becomes hard to ignore, because this isn't just about Alcaraz or Fritz. This is about every player who hits the court with an exhausted body, an overworked mind, and a schedule that barely allows them to breathe if the sport wants to keep its biggest stars healthy and keep fans watching high-level tennis. Change isn't optional. It's necessary. That's all for today's update. And this debate is far from over. If you want more fast, sharp, and real tennis coverage, make sure you're subscribed to Net Rush Report. See you in the next one.